I'd like the next gentleman that I'm going to have up on stage. I really love their work. You know, we really love their work. We're your brand foundation and the work that they do. So I'm just going to call him up to come onto stage, Mr. Selby Gumede, and then I'm going to do a proper introduction as he's up here on stage. Let's give it up for Mr. Selby. Nah, you guys, no. You guys, no, we need to rewind. We need to rewind. We need to rewind. I need to give you good energy. Come on, guys. Let's give him good energy. And for Mbawula Chat, we've got Mr. Selby Gumede from Goodmen Foundation. So the Mbawula Chat that's what we believe is the inspirational part segment of the conversation, you know. It's very conversational, unpacking, chatting with industry disruptors in different industries that are doing stuff to better our communities, you know, who've bettered our communities in different ways, whether it's job creation, whether it's helping the local vendors, you know, on the streets, whether it's creating employment, whether it's facilitating job opportunities, whether it's growing very capital businesses that have grown to make profits and impacted the environment, created jobs, created profitability that has helped our country through taxes or whatever the case. That is what the Mbawula Chat in essence is for, you know. I mean, I'm a bit, the reason why I didn't, you know, introduce you with your bio, I was a bit conflicted because what we normally do with the Mbawula Chat is we say to umuntu, because there's a number of people here that know you. But introduce yourself as if none of us know you. Yabo. How would you introduce yourself to these amazing entrepreneurs? Just pretend I don't know you. So please introduce yourself to the people in the room.
No, sanibona njani. Kunegama lesilungu abantu abalisebenzisayo. Mina I'm a conduit from the street vendor to the billionaires. So I make sure that I make them connect so that they both see value to each other. Basically, I'm a person that de-risk the informal businesses and the township businesses so that the private sector feels comfortable to work with a person in the township. That's who I am.
Now, I mean, you've done a lot of, you've worked on a number of different things. But for the benefit of the audience and everyone who's in the room, what is Wear Your Brand? You know, or rather, before the what, what inspired you to start Wear Your Brand, where you could have done any other thing amongst the things that you're doing?
Maybe let me take you to a journey. I think Masese Lokshin, I've never worked for Umlungu in my entire life. So long as I learned into 7 in employment, I think I've employed now, I think more than 150 people in my sector. It is called automotive sector that I do. I always say I want to take people to a journey. The journey is, you know, Masema Lokshin, everyone is self-employed. Everyone. In my cyclist age, we are all self-employed. But what becomes a problem is that if we don't know each one of us does, it's always a missed opportunity. Because if I ever go anywhere and I look for an opportunity in my sector and only find what the opportunity a corner, but I don't know what Bulelani does, and it's difficult for me to plug them in. And another problem now is that we always mix our brands way to our personalities. We will find what is a business Selby. Yet a business, it must have its own life. Now I must have my own life. So one day, and then I decided, you know what? If you look at our big businesses, when they network, they play golf. But you know, we said, look at South Africans. South Africans, we're a buying nation. When we buy, we have conversations. But out of those conversations, what channels the conversation? Sikhuluma ngotshwala, sikhuluma ngokuthi. And then one day we said, all of us. It must be a bring and share. If umuntu onebush, bring your meat. If umuntu amakhekhe, makumet, bring your cakes. Sikwazi ngamakhekhe. But on the day, if you don't have branding, go and find it. Must make sure you wear your brand. Because the topic of the day must be about who you are and who you represent. So that's where it started. So we started with 20 of us. We went to the beach, we were 40 of us. Today, I think within the group where we trade, we are about 780, if I'm not mistaken. But among each other, what is nice, because we do our referrals, the money that we have already circulated within us is more than 10 million. So it's a practical thinking of ukuthi ukuze sikwazi ukusebenza, we need to think of group economy. So ukusebenza ngawedwa kulimaza abaningi, sebenza usondelane nabanye, because that's where you also expand. That's where you also look into new opportunities.
Let's give him a round of applause. Entrepreneurship in itself is not linear. You know, it's got its ups and downs and its different challenges, you know. What has kept you going all these years? Jengobu Shoguti, you've never worked anywhere, you know, and over the past couple of years, you know, as entrepreneurs, we've experienced amafloods ngapa, load shedding ngapa, it's not being able to pay your staff ngapa, it's the economy not doing what it's supposed to do and feeling that impacting your business. So I'm assuming, not even assuming, but over the past number of years, you've been able to keep going. What has kept you going?
I think a support structure. If also my business, you must have your support structure. For me, it's team. I don't become a hero. There are things that I know, there are things that I don't know. But if you create a very good team around you, that's what keeps you going most of the time. And you always learn, because we have ama expertise angafani. So uNkulunkulu wangipha a gift of understanding and finding a right talent next to me. Yeah.
Now, let's unpack that. You know, because a number of us, you know, we get into business and then the mindset is, if I don't do it, it won't be done the right way. I have to be the one who does it, you know. And that in an effect, that then causes a bottleneck in the business, because you are the referee and you are the soccer player, you are the coach. How did you practically, when you divorce yourself or separate yourself from the role, you know, because sometimes, you know, our businesses are our babies. And I think maybe we might even need to unpack, is that even wrong to call your business your baby? You know, does it put us in a paralyzed state where you feel like, or whatsoever the case?
Remember, full 100% of ownership means 100% of risk. So it means when you open the appetite, you understand if you are fully in control of everything, you are also fully in control of those risks. So in the SCSI, you know, when you start a business, obviously you start because you don't have capacity, or you don't have money to pay for right talent within the business. You end up doing everything. So the one thing that kept me understanding easily is that I tried by all means ukuhlala nabantu abangaphezulu kwami, because if uhlala nabantu abangcono kunawe by knowledge, abangcono kunawe by money, abangcono kunawe ngayo yonke into, you're always gaining, so that you are able to impact better knowledge to those that you stay with most of the time. So isikhathi esiningi ngispenda nabantu who are better than me, so that I'm able to benefit and give benefit to those who are also closer to me.
You know, when I look at you, there's nothing about you that looks like, and I guess we also don't wear our challenges or our problems on our foreheads, right? But there's nothing about you that says, I experienced challenge and difficulty in business for the duration of the years I've known you. Has there been a moment in your business journey where you felt like, I want to give up,
Hey, so many times, you know, the doors that been closed to our face, there are so many times where we point that you end up giving up. Sometimes you feel what, you know, you will feel it in your strength that you are in the right path. But when you go out there, try to preach it to someone, you find that they close your door, you end up doubting what you are doing. But sometimes you feel that it's trying to. You know, what you also do it's what gives us strength. If you are able to do what you do, it means that we can do it. So it's always nicer to look up to people that are doing the same thing that you do, and you are able to draw out strength from them and say they are human, they are also like you. What is nice, we created relationships where we are able to speak, where we're able to say, those troubled times when they come, what have you done? What is it that you can assist me with? So you tap into your networks that are able to assist you. Ukuthi ukwazi ukudlula kulezo zinto.
But now, so I want to sort of track back. I mean, you know, when you begin the conversation, you spoke about how you have never worked anyway. Yabo? What sort of guidance? Not necessarily guidance. That's not my question, you know. But I think the question that's really at the cusp of my tongue is: here you are, wet behind the ears. Do you just start to and jump into entrepreneurship? Or do you see it from somewhere, or does someone mentor you into starting in this entrepreneurial journey? And then imfundo ze-entrepreneurship, ubusuzitholaphi?
I think it's a combination of things. Sometimes it's an instinct that you have as a person who believe in any project that you want to start. You have to feel it, have a passion of it. And then when you start doing it, sometimes you always want to look for one win. If I'm able to go to my brother and sell you something and you are able to buy from it, that gives me motivation to say, it means I need to look for same people who are like this, but where they are. Because the mistake that we do sometimes we find that.
I like that.
Utayisela umuntu oyedwa, utayisela abantu abawu-5 something within your services. Umuntu oyedwa uthengile abawu-4 abathenganga, and then busu uyalimala. Kanti laba abawu-4, they are not the same person as the one that has bought. Yes. So it's always important to understand who are you selling to and who are you expanding your business to. But the most important thing is support. So find yourself right support so that where you are weak, the support is stronger to assist.
So, you know sometimes kunale nkulumo ethi man abo Selby abo Gumede hale entrepreneurship into yabo. Yabo bazalelwe yona. Lento inabantu bayo. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, kukhona izinto esikwazi ukuzenza. If you look at it, sometimes you find ukuthi entrepreneurship it's a mixture of every thinking. When you might have an idea, but you don't know how to make it live out there. So you need someone else that can be able to take it to a certain level. So sometimes you must understand that I can be a creator or a founder of a concept, but I will never be a expander of the concept. But someone else can come in and be able to expand it. So entrepreneurship, in our divisions, and everyone is born with it, but depends on which level are you in it. But sometimes we want to take the whole value chain of entrepreneurship. I'm full by king, I'm full by ghost, without understanding what I can only be the thinker of the idea, but I'll never be the driver of the idea. You'll find someone else that can drive it. But when because you tabangile and it was sitting on you as a vision, you still need to carry on. But for it to be sustainable, you have pillars of individuals that can assist you.
What inspires you?
I think winning inspires me. Or when you do something and someone...
I like that. Let's give him a round of applause. This is a selfish round of applause just because I like that. Just like, I really like that. Continue, sir. Sorry to disturb you.
I think when you find someone that comes up into you and say, you know what, like my Usiswamgate Kuluma now, you have created, it takes a lot to execute this kind of an event, but people don't know. It takes a lot from you to be able to do it on the day. When someone is able to say, on this day, because you did the event, I was able to meet up with Mr. Sponel, who I did not see for such a long time. That's our wins, because you want to take out something in everything that you do. But sometimes it's not money. We were discussing with the Ukacheni Lapa, as a social entrepreneurs, where do you make money? Imali yethu eningi is within abantu abaningi esibasizayo, because we've been so lonely when we tried to come up, when we understood ukuthi there was no home for us, so we needed to create home for others, because those others that you have created a home for, can change your life or they can change your family's life. So it's all about that. Ukuthi empilweni, it's the power of what we do is within the networks that we create and the relationships that we create. So the money that we have is not the rands and cents sometimes, but it's the value of the individuals that we bring along each other. So those individuals are able to ngazi uGatsheni today, uGatsheni can take omunye umuntu angamvulela umnyango. Amvulela umnyango for something of R1 million. It did not come to me. But lo muntu amvulele wona umnyango R1 million, mhlawumbe mina uyongivulela umnyango wento R1 million tomorrow. You see, it's a chain of benefits.
What is the two-pronged question? You can either answer both or one. But what is the book or the one piece of guidance, motivation, inspiration that has stuck with you, or a book that has helped you in your entrepreneurial journey?
Out of four.
I like that because it goes with the wedding.
So, out of four, it teaches you how to win and how to fight battles. Because in Impilo, it's battles every day. In Impilo, it's all about strategy. How then a problem, if you when you look at it and you change it so that you are able to win in it. Lingabisi yakshaya because when you are defeated because you have. So when it comes, it must be something that is able to teach you and be able to go to when how then do you assist others to be able to win in it? So it gives you strategy in terms of what you do.
I mean, entrepreneurship in itself is, is driven by a number of things. I mean, underpinned by sales and stuff. But, sometimes we hit moments in our businesses where there's no cash flow. Or there's no cash flow, or there's no cash to start and execute a new business. And sometimes we become very despondent and we don't start. Or if we have started and we hit that hurdle, we just stop indefinitely. What would be your words of encouragement to entrepreneurs, who are trying to figure out, who are waiting for that cash start,
There was a thing that you talked about, relationships that are mutually beneficial. In business, we call it a bartering system. So in bartering system, if I don't have cash and I want to start something, but I have a skill that I can offer to someone that needs a skill, you use your skill to be able to get what you want so that you are able to start what you want. So in life, it's never almost about cash, but it's about understanding the journey that you want to take and what is it that you can use so that you are able to reach the journey that you want.
Let's give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I've got a number of questions. But what we normally do with this segment is we also then open up to the floor. If anyone has got questions, this is the moment. I've got the gentleman there. Okay, could we maybe just start with the gentleman and give him the mic? And I think maybe what I should have done is I should have said this in the beginning. Because we're all entrepreneurs here, and the moment you get your hands on the mic, before you ask the question, always sell yourself. So hi, my name is Bulelani. I'm the founder of Best Chicken, the best chicken KwaMashu. My question is, then you, at least because you've already taken the moment to stand and, just plug yourself. But the things though to everyone is, just that one question, because we don't want to drag the program. And then we can ask Mr. Selby, he'll answer, then we do the pitch nomination.
Okay, thanks. Sanibonani. Igama lami ngicela ukuhle kwamgobhoze i-founder yeSithembu Kuhle Holdings. Edila nezinto ezimbiza kahle izinto zesizulu. Mina ngisangoma kahle. So ngisebenza ngokwenza ukuthi ngenze imbiza ezisiza abantu besilisa nezabantu besifazane. Umbuzo enginawo ngoba Selby, you talked about a group economy. and ngingathanda ukuthi ngik-engage kulokho ukuthi mhlambe mawungaqala unginikeze ukuthi ubuchaze ukuthini about group economy, because according to my understanding group economy cannot accommodate all of us. Mhlambe we can talk about that mas ngakhuluma ngebhaza ukuthi ay mhlambe siyathengisana. So engakho ngithi ngicela mhlambe ukungichazela if you talk about group economy ukhuluma ngani bese ngikwazi ukuthi ngi-engage kahle. Ngiyaxolisa ukubulelana ukuthi ngisazocela ukuthi ngiqhubeke futhi.
No, I can't. I mean, I can't. I only take one question. Next one. So,
okay.
Next one because of his card.
Okay.
And then after this, I'll ask him to hang around for 10, 15 minutes for you.
Oh, okay.
If he's not in a rush. And
I'll appreciate that.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Done. So I've got my first one here. So maybe just to ask your QQ, do you want us to ask questions and you answer? Must they all? Okay, perfect. And then we'll move on to our next one. The gentleman over here, you can answer the first one, sir.
But I like our challenge, but mhlawumbe masikhuluma nge-group economy mhlawumbe mobala into yayinamba khumbula ukuthi group economy mani babili ne-group, so ama-numbers wenu it doesn't mean kufanele zabe 100. So if you are able to be in alignment nibe u-2 nibe u-3 where you are focused in delivering a certain service ezokwazi ukunibenefita, or you are able to exchange ama-services within each other and be able to benefit to each other. That's what we call group economy. It's not about rands and cents. It's also by sharing services that benefits abanye abantu in that side. So that's what I'm talking about when you speak about group economy. That's what we advocate for. Oba for ukhuluma ngembiza and how you packaging imbiza zakho ukuze ikwazi ukudayiswa. Mina ngikhuluma ngebranding and I come to you and I'm able ukuthi ngikubrandele ngikushapele bese uyadayisela imarket. So that's what I'm talking about in terms of group economy. What I do and what you do coming up together and able to give it to a service to abantu. That's the essence of group economy.
But on the breadth of group economy, a very important conversation that we need to have that you must tell me or us, how do we work in groups effectively? Because my city, my society, my city is a collaborator in businesses one side, the other person doesn't show up. In your expertise, because I've seen you work on different initiatives, but in groups and in pacts, and you guys have done them effectively and successfully in those executions.
The problem yokusebenza abantu abaningi bayabathi abantu abamnyama sikwazi ukusebenzisana ndawonye. I challenge that. You know why I challenge it? It's because there's a maturity of information that each one of us must get. You find ukuthi you want to speak investment to umuntu ofuna ukudla manje. Uthatha umuntu ofuna ukudla manje to into esifuna ukuyenza ye-investment. Lo muntu ngeke understand and will cause trouble to into investment. Sifuna ukuthenga ama-properties but ukhuluma ngomuntu osafuna ukwenza icar wash. So there is certain type of information that is needed for adoption of each individual. So we ended up giving in information to everyone because we believe good by entrepreneurs. But in majority of understanding the information, ayikakafiki again. Kuyena njengamanje usafuna ukuthi I want to have 1,000 rand, ngifuna ukuthenga imoto, ngifuna ukwenza ukuthi. That's the information that they must get. But what is nice is that when we start doing also on the side where there's investment, because abantu abamnyama noma thina sishintshwa ukubona. So omunye will say, "Hey, ngiyayidla le mali, but ngiyanibona nina senemizi senama property nenza kanjani." The moment he comes in is ready now for the information of investment. So you start now deploying investment information to them. But you can't give investment information to someone who wants to benefit now. So lo ufuna benefita manje akathola into ya manje.
Powerful. Sir, the floor is yours. Just press the button underneath guy one, just a slight tap to unmute.
How are you guys? I'm Sfundo Kaula. I'm from Mayville. I'm a co-founder of Esihle Trading. So I'm selling chili paste and acha. So I created. So I want to ask you, you say you never work. So I just want to know, how did you create your capital? Because eventually most of us, we made the capital out of working from somewhere then you took the salary to create a capital to start a business. So I want to know, where did you find your capital to start your business?
You know, I was lucky. I think sometimes what we do, Bulelan, sometimes we take it for granted. There are certain things that God put into us that we need to understand, which not all of us were the same. When I was at school, I would work, go before I Mr. Phone, I will work about Mr. Phone and I will have money. And out of a car, I went and bought a computer. Out of the computer, I was doing also my CV and also doing my CD, or selling those CDs and everything. And nicely, when I was introduced to business, it was a service business more than a business that needed capital. So most of the business needed only me to drive, because what I do in terms of automotive, we supply drivers, we transport cars. So we move motor to our dealership everywhere. So for me to be in business, I needed to have a driver's license so that I'm able to find other people that have driver's license to a certain individual that wanted their car to be moved. That's all. So you also are able to look at in the industry or in the space saga business, where then can I fit in, where I will not use capital mostly, but I can use what I have as a service that will drive me capital, so that on expansion, I'm able to use my capital to expand myself.
And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is building revenue streams, finding alternate ways of raising capital. Because I really, really love that, you know, and I want to really stress what Bob Gumede just said right now. It's very important, because sometimes what you do is, because you can't afford the chicken franchise, you don't do anything. But you could find someone who sells chickens and resell them. It doesn't give you the right margin, but we know what it does. It keeps you focused in that stream of industry to be able to understand. Maybe they die in winter. Maybe in winter they eat too much food. Maybe they need heat. The heating is too expensive. Then you are able to say, I don't want that stress, because you are learning from omunye umuntu. Instead of saying, it's not to say don't dream big, but understand and plug yourself. Man, you're so good. The lady, milady, the floor is yours. Thank you guys that are asking questions. Thank you.
Sanibonani, igama uThembekile wakaZungu Sibongo. I'm from a company called Riverbed. What we do is we deal with stem cell repair and rejuvenation of dead cells, right? That's what my product does. Well, more cool so we have a problem. I outsource my products from outside of the country, but I have a middle person. Is it advisable to noma ukuthi ngimsuso umuntu phakathi nendawo uma ngabe ngibambezele? That's what I want to know. I'm over ambitious for umuntu wami. So is it advisable ukuthi ngimsuse ngiyele mina laphayana la ngizolithola khona directly?
Thank you for that question.
Sapa will say the mere fact that you are in business, you want to maximize on profit. So if the middleman is also eating in your profit, so it's within your best interest to go to Tolindle. But if you must be able to replace with a flow of service. You want to make money and then you compromise your service because because of what he was giving to you and you are able to give to your clients. Now once you and then you compromise the service, you'll end up losing more. So it's very important. Sometimes you get business middleman, focus on it, but expansion, move middleman on expansion so that you always safe on the core. Ungarani risk yokuthi ufuna ukususa umuntu ufuna ukwenza imali bese mase isukile awusakwazi ukucontinue because we have nowhere else to go. Sometimes the talent is very crucial ukuthi umuntu ubani omfakayo because lo muntu omfakayo uthatha unendlela la yenza ngayo ukuze akwazi ukugcina wena ukhona. So it's always about business. So you need to very make sure ukuthi ma umsusa nothing will change within your business. But if something will change, there's no need. Look at what you want to expand on without them being there. Basically, you focus on expansion. Let you work with them.
Thank you so much. Okay, I've got any questions this side? I've got the gentleman there, the lady. Okay, perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Once again, Kamalam Franco, our Clean Boy, Sales and Marketing Director from Flourish Treats, Goodness Guaranteed in a Jar. Mhlambe before umbuzo wami just to add ithought yami kumbuzo obuzo umfowethu lapha ukuthi how do you start a business without working. Zothu indlela zokwenza imali. It's people's time and people's money. So a business nami ngiqala ngabamba lokho. You use people's time to make money or use people's money to make money. Now umbuzo wami uthe uzointroduce Selby and washo ukuthi you can do it between abantu basekasi and ama-millionaires opening doors for them. Big challenge yethu ukuthi how do we get to that level etaselokshi siwafake kwi-level or emqobeni yabafowethu nodade in the township business sifake umqondo ukuthi we can also franchise our businesses. Ungagcini mhlawumbe urun chicken dust yakho lana or run ikish lakho lana, but then how do we do it ukuze ngikwazi ukuthi ngine business la KwaMashu, same business ngingaba nalo eNanda, same business ngingaba nalo eNtuzuma, eventually mhlawumbe ngize ngibe nalo eMlazi and so forth. Franchising in our business, how do we install that in the minds of our brothers and sisters?
Thank you so much, sir. The gentleman here in the dreadlocks. So, okay, no, I just want you to hold the mic. Sir, the floor is yours.
I think mhlambe into ye franchising kuthina sabantu abamnyama akabi into esangenile. You know why? I franchising ine maturity. Akumele uyijakhe. You need to package it very well for you to be able to escalate it. So if you are selling like kaya bush, like if you look at it, the perfect example of a product that can now be franchised, it's a Max Lifestyle. If you go there and you are able to find that it's a perfect product, engakwazi ukusurvive anywhere because he has worked on it in a sense that it can be able to reproduce kwezinye indawo. Inkinga esiba nayo is too early to franchise because ujaku expand. So there are businesses that are setting angakwazi ukusurvive on a franchising level because ususebenze nawo isikhathi eside ukuthi aseyakwazi ukusell product, now they are ready. So a franchising, it tells you when it's ready. Akuwena ofanele uyiphushe ukuthi isi ready. So must understand ukuthi mangingekho the product can still survive without me being there, and it's in a level ukuthi mawuyifaka kwenye indawo isiyenzeka it becomes easy. Same thing if you look at mojos, you have mojos now in town, you have mojos in Chesterville. So you look at those businesses so that you are able to look at the trend of how they have done it, so that you are also now be able to franchise and make sure ukuthi the service is the same. Mawuse mojos ose Durban, it's the same as the mojos ese local, ese Umlazi, noma ese Chesterville, because each brand can also kill another brand. So you'll end up franchising, but you're killing what was your core business because usheshe wafuna expand.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir.
Sanibona phone. Bengicela ukubuza mina bese ukuthi ngicaba ukuthi ngenza iphutha ngasungula iNPO. Kokuthi ngisuse abafethu laba abancane ukuthi bangangeni kuma drugs mase befunda iskill. Kodwa manje abantu engabathola ngathola abantu abagijimisa imali kakhulu. Manje sengithola ngisebenza kakhulu iworkload iningi kakhulu and then nalento engangiyibona angisengibona ngathi sekukude ukuthi kufikeke. Ngicela ukubuza ukuthi but mhlawumbe esimene sikanjalo ngenza kanjani ukuthi to counter ilento zani business. Ngiyabonga.
I think the vertical business strategy was re-evaluate. I mean, I work too much about 12 episodes. So every hour you must re-look at your strategy. So if things are not working, remember, Kakulu as more social entrepreneur. It's not about people that you are with. It's the impact you want to create out there. So the impact must always be bigger than people labo nabo. Sometimes you lose friendships, sometimes you lose families because of the impact that you want to create out there. Ekuyiyona kusasa ekudrivayo each and every time. So if ukwenelisa abantu abalayo kona ukudrivayo uzohlala nabo. But if ukwenelisa into yokushintsha abantu kukona ukudrivayo, then you'll change them and find ways ukuthi ukwazi ukuthi lento yakhe iphumelele. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. My lady.
Sanbonani. My name is Selby Sibusiso Gumede. I am the founder and director of Umlazi Organic Chickens. So we are a poultry farm. We supply organic chicken and organic eggs. So my question is, I've realized that in this entrepreneurial journey since I've started, a lot changes, the industry changes. So my question would be, how do you stay relevant? That answer will assist me as well. Ukuthi ngazi ukuthi mina, how do I stay relevant in the industry as well? Ngingagcina sekuthiwa kwakukhona. Yes, so that's my question. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I think irrelevance, it says play with the big boys within your industry. Because they are way ahead about what is going on. They have enough information for research and everything. So your network must be exactly from where you want to be. If I want to be a billionaire, ngifuna i-billionaire ngohlala nalo, because i-thinking nokuzokuthola kubona kuwusizo izinto vele abasebe ahead kuzona. So kwi-industry kuyona, look at who are the bigger boys within your industry. Find them, get them to mentor you, or get those people to be within your cycles, so that whenever there's a problem, you are able to tap into them. So that's the only way of sustaining and stay yourself relevant, because sometimes it's costly ukuba relevant, but ukuze kungabi costly, it depends who's next to you.
Thank you so much. I think we're done this side. Oh, okay.
Sanibonani. Mina igama lami nguZinhle Maphanga. The founder of Izinhle's All Things Sweet. Ngisebenzele eMlazi. I-point lami baba, angiqale ngikubingelele ngoba njengoba ngihleli lana nje usukhulume nami wangiqeda and ngiyazizwa ukuthi angisekho right. Ngizama ukuthi ngibe abo konke nje lokushilo. Kuqala kwaqala usisifanele nobhuti lo lapha egcineni lo wade speaker. Uyabo. So manje ngihleli la manje angiyabona ukuthi yazi umqonda usadonsi kahle. So to carry the story short, i-business lami ngiqale ngo-2019. Ngaregister ngo-2021. But ukudayisa osweet ngaqala from primary. Ngase ngigcine ubade senqaba kaZulu and then ngase ngiqhubeka nalo ke business. So i-question yami ukuthi anginayo support. Anginayo support when it comes to family. I don't have a family. I don't have friends. Omakrene ngihlala nabo ngizothini ka mind your own business. Uyangena uvale. Sibona mesiphuma nje e18 then mesungena endlini. So i-business linako ungibhonya and mali ngibhonya lingibhonya mase ngikhala bese ngihlala ngedwa ngikhulume ngedwa. So mina yonke into engiyenzayo ngihlala nami ngikhulume nami. Ubhuti wami manje kade ethi network la. Mhlawumbe some people banothusela ukuthi ndibe ngihlezi ngedwa la. Ngakhuluma nosisi. Wathi Zinhle wena wenzani for living ngamtshela. Wathi but asambeni sokhuluma ngathi mina angikwazi ukukhuluma mina ngikhuluma ngedwa and ngiphuma nesinqumo ngedwa. So I think ngi-risky and I think I'm selfish. I think I'm selfish. But I wish benginayo support. Mhlambe bengabe ibhizinisi lami lizoba ngcono manje because ngiqala ibhizinisi ngiqale ngedwa. After iluthing ngibeluthile eMlazi sesibuya nga-employer abasebenzi abawu4. So sesiba u9 manje. I-team yami isu9. So ibona abantu engikwazi ukukhuluma nabo labo kodwa nabo bahlezi be-expecte mina ukuthi ngihlezi ngilida as i-leader yabo but anginayo support.
Thank you so much for that. Just, I think we've got one person there, lady. Are they still there? No, perfect, we wrap it. Last good.
Mhlambe your journey needed yona ukuthi uzofika to that point so that you are able to meet about here and about where your brand, because bona they become your support. So konke osukwenzile ungakushayela eceleni ngoba it's been your journey, so that now the support that you know mawuza kuthina you know exactly what you want, so that we are able to assist you kuyona lento oyifunayo. So ungayilimazi kakhulu, you have done very well. Mawusuthi une team yabantu abawu9 Hey, that's that's a lot of what you have done. So so it's quite a lot. So we exactly what we are. There's here, there's where your brand, Tina, we work together anyhow. Those should be your home. So ma usoma business, if fanele ufune la kuhlangana khona osoma business, make those places be your home. Because Tina, our job ukukhuluma nama organization amakhulu and say siyacela nangu umuntu wethu siyazi atmuzo kodwa kuba niyasizwa thina ake nimzame shame uzokwazi kuba right. So we make things easier for you. So in distance obuzoyihamba ngeke uzoyihambe because you are always there. And those are the things that are very important. We always encourage find a place where kunamosoma business abakhona, make it a home, because unomuntu omhluphayo ngento oyidingayo uyakwazi ukufika kwa your brand, uyakwazi ukufonela bulelana ngisizakala ngidinga ukuthi you make that problem be his problem, because yena uzokwazi within his network ukuthola usizo lwakho. And if ethola usizo lwakho, that's what makes the tier and the way your brand survive. Because if usizakele wena uzohamba ukhuluma ngayo ukuthi way your brand yangisiza, and that's what brings in abantu, and we are becoming champions of our real small businesses. So it's very important. Find us, come to us, give us problems. It's our job to make sure we find solutions.
And then I think for me it's just two things, then we wrap up, you know. When I started the conversation, you know, I spoke about where your brand. Maybe first, can you tell the entrepreneurs here about what is where your brand is Anjani? So then number two, okay, no, let me not. I'll ask you number two. I'll ask question.
So where your brand, Tina si sa focus on the you know when ma SMMEs, no more we still have to debate and my SMMEs, my small businesses, because I think we still have to talk about it. How long? When do you stay small? You stay small for how long? Because if you define yourself as a small business, it means you're always going to be a small business. Are we not have to change as emerging businesses? Because you still have to emerge, then you can grow. But that's a story for another day. So here's where your brand, we've realized, Wuti, if you look at Coca-Cola as a whole, no one knows who owns Coca-Cola. But if you figure a Coca-Cola a pep, pep. So the point of branding is very important because it defines what your services and the values that of the business. So we find that they attach themselves individually to their brand. It must always stay by its own self and own values, so that abantu mabexhumana nayo abaxhumani nami baxhumana nama values that the business can do. So see define ngama pillars ke thina amathathu nje amakhulu. One of the pillars is compliance. So we say if you come closer to us, where do you play? You play with poet, udlale enkukhwini. In your industry, we go out there, we look at what is your compliance sake within your industry. So that we are able to get you there. Because if opportunities come, already. Because the problem is that we chase opportunities, we chase compliance based on opportunities that are coming in. And is that there's a point that is structural support. Structural, because small business, awunayo imali okukhokhela umuntu ohuman resource, awunayo imali okukhokhela umuntu accounting, awunayo umuntu okukhokhela imali yokuthi. So those are the hindrances within our businesses. So that's what we do, because you know we have relationships with abantu abama professionals who also have their law firms within us. So it becomes easy ukuthi mawuzofuna amabhuku, this guy is doing amabhuku, so uzokwazi ukuwathola lapha again. Therefore your business is structurally supported. So those are the things that are very important. Ikuthi compliance, structural support, bese sibuza lento corporate identity. Corporate identity is not about the logo only. There's a value chain of business yakho. There's a website. There's so many things that you need to build in so that business it builds itself as an individual on its own.
I love that, yeah. Because I was about to ask for a round of applause. And then, you know, in closing, and really, heartfelt appreciation for the work that you do. Bigger heartfelt appreciation for coming out here, KwaMashu, giving of your time, and the knowledge that you've dispersed and shared with us here today. But, there's never one thing, but we always ask for that one thing. If ever there was a piece of advice, message, we're going into the festive, we're thinking of starting the new year, and it's especially for a lot of us as business owners, it's a bittersweet because December sometimes means anya kuthole mali. Based on the industry you're in. January means you can only start making money middle of January based on the business you're in. Middle of January, abantu masebabuya, then isn't uzikulindile month end, What would be your advice to the entrepreneurs in the room, going into this time?
Yabo nje ukusebenza township nokusebenza nama rural areas, we're just sharing now ukuthi siyayikhuluma as a holistical thing with the township economy. But have we have time to segment it? Siyihlukanise ukuthi what does it mean? Like in February now, we are doing what we call rebranding spaza shops. So in terms of spaza shops, you're looking at, we have given up and we have already said it's a foreign market. And if you look at it, it's 173 billion market that is operating within our own spaces. So that market needs to be rebranded. What do you mean by rebranding? It means how then do you make it competitive? How then do you bring in in-now solutions that are also be plugged in so that these industries can also still strive? You look at saloons as a whole. How then those saloons are able to feed our families as we go? But in a piece of advice is that we don't give up. We never give up. If failure is when you're not acted, but when you act, you learn. So kubalulekile ukuthi each every day you work in your vision, you push, you expand your network, you expand your influence, you expand your information. Kubantu abaseduzane, ungabasaba abantu abaphezulu. They are hungry to assist. Inkinga ithina sisabayo ukuba approacher. So you go to them and you tell them this is what I want to be assisted with. They will find means of assisting you. So that's what we have found. So don't be afraid. So if you move some business, the one thing that you must have is selling. So utayisa fanele ukwazi. Futhi ukubonakala ngento oyiphilayo fanele ungasoze wakusaba. That's why we say we must always become walking billboards. Walking billboards every day. When you meet Louis Vuitton, when you meet abantu Louis Vuitton, about 100, you have exposed Louis Vuitton to 100 people. When you meet abantu about 100, ufake into yakho yembiza bafu, you have exposed into yembiza kubantu about 100. So it means out of those 100, khona about 3 abazothenga. So when you sleep, when you wake up, when you drink, you must drink your brand. So you must wear your brand every day. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Mr. Selby Gumede. A big hearty round of applause. Siyabonga kakhulu. So we've got a photographer there. We just want your beautiful smile. Just we pose.